What's good, everyone? In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys some tips and tricks about claw, and I'm going to be pointing out obvious things and not so obvious things that's going to really help you get better when doing claw and practicing for yourself. This is something a little different from what I normally do, but in case you guys don't know, I'm very active in the comment section, so throughout any time in this video, if you have a question, feel free to shoot me a comment down below and I'll hit you back. 78% of people that watch my YouTube videos are not subscribed to my channel, so if you guys can hit that like button and the sub button for the one time, I would greatly appreciate it. So just to let you guys know the direction of this video, I'm going to be pointing out quick tips and tricks about claw and telling you guys what position you should be doing in my personal opinion, depending on which controller you're on as well. And then after that, I'm going to be going into real pub games and showing you guys exactly how I play when I'm actually in a game. So without further ado, let's get started. So I actually just sold my Xbox controller and I got this new one. It's the Microsoft Xbox Elite Series 2. I also have this Kontrol Freak on it that's like hella cheap. I got it from Amazon. I'm going to leave an affiliate link down below. So if you guys want to use that to buy some cheap Kontrol Freaks that work pretty good, honestly, I'm going to leave it down below. Whenever you're playing claw or using a controller, I would definitely recommend using at least one Kontrol Freak on the right analog stick, which is your aiming stick. In short summary, it allows you to have better aiming while having a higher sense. It might be minimal for some people, but it helps. So let me break this down real quick. If you're on a normal Xbox controller, I would do single claw on the right hand side. If you have a Microsoft or some sort of scuf controller, then I would do single claw on the right side, and then obviously I would use the two paddles on the back of the controller with your left hand. If you're on a PS4 normal DualShock controller, I would do double claw no matter what, and I would also get Kontrol Freaks for both controllers. If you're on a scuffed PS4 controller with paddles on the back, me personally, I would do single claw on the right side just like I'm doing now, and then probably do normal on the left side. If you guys are looking for an in-depth claw guide tutorial on both controllers, then I'm gonna put a link in the top right hand corner for you guys to check out, as well as I'm gonna have it in the description. So just to let you guys know, this controller that I have now, you can literally just take off these analog sticks. You can adjust them with this little tool that I have. You can just take them off, replace them, put them back on, extremely easy. As well as I have 4 paddles on the back of the controller. This controller is a pretty penny. For those of you who don't know, you can also take this part out and have a normal D-pad, or you can put this little hexagon thing on, which I like more, to be honest. In case you guys want different sensitivities for multiple people using this controller in the same house, you press this button in the middle, and if you guys see right here, see how this thing is going from 1 to 2 to 3? Those are all the different sensitivities that you can program this controller to. In my opinion, this controller, if you're semi-serious about gaming, is the best one, personally. That's not the point of the video, though. I just wanted to mention that. Let's get into the tips. Most importantly, when you're on claw, it's all about the grip and hand positioning when you're doing it. The common problem that a lot of people have in my comment section and other places as well that I see is that they have a hard time pressing the A button and shooting at the same time. So they have a hard time doing this movement with their hand. And this is something that you do a lot whenever you're trying to take someone's wall and exploit in. For example, if I'm trying to get in someone's wall, what I have to do is I have to shoot, right, to break the wall. So I'm shooting, and then I have to jump and shoot at the same time. So I have to jump like that and press it at the same time to get through and exploit in someone's box. A lot of people have trouble with this. I'm going to show you how I do it. So pretty much whenever you're trying to put your hands in this position, what I'm focusing on is really stretching my fingers and getting them used to doing this. Your fingers have never been moved before in this position, so what you have to do is just constantly practice pressing them at the same time. What you can do is kind of take your hand a little far away from the controller like this. That way you have an easier angle, and then slowly as you're getting better, just work on pressing them with your whole hand on the controller. As you can see here, I have my hand attached to the controller like this, and then I rest it like this, and I have my analog stick here. And then you can just do it that way if you want. And then as you get better with it, what you do is just kind of turn your hand in a little bit. That way you can get better aiming with the analog stick because you'll have a better grip on that. And then you just practice doing this all the time. So you could just constantly box up, place a stair underneath you, axe it once, and then run and jump and try and break through and exploit into the person's box. And over time, that awkwardness you're feeling should get better. Another claw tip is that whenever you're holding claw or holding a controller in general, you want to have a tight grip on the bottom part of the controller with your palms like this. I know my hands are a little exposed right now, but just kind of understand that you want to have a tight grip on the controller like this, and then wrap your hands around it like this, okay? So whenever you're doing claw, you want to have a tight grip at the bottom where your palms are, and then from there, you just want to feather your fingers on the buttons. Don't worry about holding the whole thing so tight. Just focus putting pressure like this, and then just feather your fingers on the controller like this, okay? That's something that was really difficult for me to understand at first because I was trying to get really fast with my edits and stuff like that, and I couldn't really do it because the grip I had was just trash. So over time, through the experience that I got, Once I figured that out, I was able to edit a lot faster. Not only that, but I felt like I had better movement as well. Now, another thing I really want to bring to your guys' attention, I promise you, focus on stretching even before you go to bed or just sometime throughout the day. Stretching your hands is so important. I literally can't tell you guys that enough. If you just stretch for 5 minutes, do basic hand stretches, I'm telling you, not only will you feel better on the controller or mouse and keyboard even, but it will prevent things like arthritis later on down the road. I know you guys don't want to find a stretch video, so I'm just going to quickly go over 2 stretches that you can do at a desk. The first one is to put your hands together like you're praying and then bring it close to your chest. And then all you got to do is keep your elbows high, but make sure your palms are tight together like this so they never come apart, and just bring them close to your chest and go down with your elbows kind of high in the air. You should feel it all along, like right here in your hand and arm. The next one I want to do is kind of a bicep stretch, but it does help your fingers as well. All you do is just make your arm straight like this, turn your hand upside down, and then just pull back on your fingers like this. This will help with the finger stretches and the movement and get the blood flowing. Those are 2 quick stretches that I really recommend doing at least before you go to bed for like 5 minutes or 3 minutes or something like that. I promise you're gonna thank me in the long run. Just please try it, and you might even like it. Is to focus on having a curvature to your hand. So instead of holding the controller normally like this, when you play claw, you have to turn your wrist in, and that's something that a lot of people have problems with. Not only that, but your fingers are really important because the position of your fingers might screw up the whole thing. So whenever you're doing a claw position, put your finger like this, wrap your hand around it tight like I said, and then kind of turn your hand and adjust at like a very few degrees. Like don't go crazy and do this, but if you want to have it flat, put your hand in and then put your thumb here and then just turn it just a little bit so you have room to press the bottom button as well and shoot, just like I was talking about earlier. A problem that a lot of people have is they think they have to turn their wrist in so much, and then they have this tight pressured pointer finger claw grip, which is terrible. That's going to cause problems later on down the road. But if you're relaxed when you play claw, you see how this C grip is kind of natural. It's not like this where you know I'm spamming the controller and flexing my hand really hard to try and press all the buttons. If you're relaxed when you play claw, it's gonna help you and get smoother edits and playing smoother all around across any game you play. You know what, since we're here, I'm just kind of briefly explain some controller tips that I wish I knew when I started, because if you guys just don't know these, it's gonna help you a lot. If you guys are trying to get faster edits and quicker double edits and whatever the case may be, you really want to focus on having your edit button and your confirm button on 2 different hands. For example, I have edit as left stick and then I confirm with Y. So I can press these buttons way faster on 2 separate hands rather than pressing 2 buttons with 1 finger. So if you have to edit with your pointer finger and confirm with your pointer finger, you're at a huge disadvantage. Same thing goes with your confirm as well. Most people on controller focus on trying to do mouse and keyboard things and edit as fast as they possibly can and have the craziest builds in the world like phase sway. But reality is that when you're on controller, you want to focus on having a smoother sense whenever you're doing something. That way you'll have way better aim, especially when you're in a box and you're box fighting someone when you're getting pressured. Majority of pros have built their way up from a slow sense all the way to a fast one. Over time, as you get better and smoother with your sense, you can raise it up, and therefore you'll get even faster and more mechanically skilled that way. That's the best way to improve your sensitivity across the board. Woo! Oh, nice! That was a nice snipe. The side jumps on this thing make it so fun to use. Nice, good stuff, Chem Beans. you guys have any further questions about Claw or anything else related to PCs or Fortnite, feel free to hop into my Twitch chat as I'm live every time I post a video that night. Don't forget to use code ChemBeans in the item shop next time you're going to buy something. It helps me out immensely. There's a community Discord link down below as well. But until then, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Deuces, everyone. Peace.